Alright class, this is going to be a quick little lesson on the checks and balances in the U.S. government. So, you're going to definitely want to write this down. So this whole thing is checks and balances in the three branches of the United States government. So first we're going to write down the branches and they're going to go in the boxes here. So we have executive branch, this would be the president. This branch we're going to have as the judicial or the courts. And then over here is going to be, you got it, the legislature, which is going to be the Senate and the House of Representatives, okay? So if you don't have that written down yet, or you want to draw this, have the arrows all go in the right direction, now would be a good time to hit pause, okay? Alright, so if you paused, you're back with us now. So we're going to go through how, we're going to go around and we're going to do each side. How does each branch check each other and balance their power so one part of the government doesn't get too strong? So we're going to start right here. How does the president check the judicial branch? Well, the president appoints judges. Okay? So especially like the Supreme Court, this is a big deal. So the president chooses who they want to have be a judge. Congress has to approve it, but this is how they can influence the court system. And this is pretty big in history. There's FDR and court packing and all this other stuff. But that's how that happens. So how does the judicial branch check the president? Well, they can declare presidential acts unconstitutional. They can say what the president does or says or basically enacts as law is unconstitutional, and that's not going to work. So they can then null and void whatever that action was. So down here, how does the judicial branch check the legislative branch? So the arrow going this way. Well, judges can declare laws unconstitutional. So like if the legislature said, we're going to raise taxes only on people over 6 feet tall, that's unconstitutional. You can't single out a single segment of society and say, you're going to pay more just because you're tall. It'd be like saying, if you're left-handed, we're going to raise your taxes 20%. Okay? Can't do that. Okay? That doesn't make any sense. So how does the legislative branch check the judicial branch? Well, they have to approve the judges. Okay, so the president picks them, but Congress has to approve them. Okay? They can say, that guy's a little weird. They're a little crazy. You know, they have some things we don't agree with. We're not going to accept that one. And the other thing they can do is they can impeach judges. So if you have a judge who is like secretly taking money from a defendant or a prosecution, one side of the case, and they said, you know, hey, you give me $100,000, I'll vote for you. You can't do that. You can't, that's buying off a judge. That's bad, that's wrong. Okay, so how does the legislative branch, the outside here, check the executive branch? Well, a couple things. One, they control the budget. Great example, the president can say, I'm going to send troops to Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, wherever. And Congress can say, well, yeah, you got the power to do that. Okay, you can go send the Marines to wherever. We're not going to pay for it. So that kind of stops the president from doing that. The other thing Congress can do is they can do a 2/3 vote override of the presidential veto. So the president can say, you know what, I don't want that to be a law. No. Congress can come back and say, yeah, this is really important. We're passing it. It's a law. So we already kind of gave it away. The president can veto laws. So the president can say that is not a good piece of legislation. You can't raise taxes on people that have red hair. It's not fair, okay? So, big thing, guys, checks and balances ways to stop the United States government, one part from getting too strong. If they're all equal, the goal is fairness, and one branch is not being a despot and evil and dictatorial across the rest of the other branches. So the goal is to try to preserve democracy. All right, you can always watch this again if you're confused. All right, guys, we will see you soon.